Hello and welcome to Reportage. This is Danish bin Nabi. In today's segment of Reportage, I am joined by author Abhijeet Bhalerao. His novel titled The Man Who Avenged Bhagat Singh is a historical thriller which narrates the daring mission of Baikunt Sukul, a Bihar school teacher who killed Nath Ghosh. Ghosh was the person who betrayed Bhagat Singh and his comrades to the British police. The Man Who Avenged Bhagat Singh is published by Penguin Books. More from the author. Mr. Balerao, for the viewers, explain it for the viewers what this novel is all about.
So this novel is about a time and a hero which is forgotten by us, collective Indians. So basically, I should explain a little background to get more idea about what this book is about. So we all of us know that Bhagat Singh surrendered after throwing the bomb in Delhi's assembly. Okay, and when he surrendered, most of his comrades and people from Hindustan Socialist Republican Association got arrested by CID and police. One of them, named Fanindranath Ghosh, became a traitor. Okay, so this Fanindranath Ghosh was the highest position holder in the party. He was the head of Bihar state and member of Central Committee, which was the highest body in HSRA. And this Fanindranath Ghosh became a traitor and gave all the details about the party and the revolutionary activities to the British. And it made the case solidified against the Bhagat Singh and all the revolutionary because the name of the case was the King Emperor versus Sukhdev Bhagat Singh and others. So there were two parts in the Bhagat Singh's case. One part was the murder of Saunders, and another part, which was more serious, was the conspiracy against the king. That these young men were trying to conspire against the king to throw away the Raj. So this person, Hanindranath Ghosh, proved solidifyingly that this Bhagat Singh and other people are trying to overthrow the king. And for that, they were hanged. And the rest of them were sent to life imprisonment to Andaman. So this Fanindranath Ghosh, the wretched traitor, was given the title of the King's Witness. Okay. And when Bhagat Singh was dead, Azad was dead, the remaining fellow revolutionaries from Punjab sent a pamphlet to Bihar saying that तुम दाग को धोगे कि ढोगे? Will you carry the traitor's plot or will you dare to wash it? Then comes in the picture a pre-primary teacher from Bihar who idolizes Bhagat Singh, Azad, and all the revolutionaries of his time, and he decides he makes his life's mission to avenge his hero, to get revenge for Bhagat Singh, to wash the blood on the face of Bihar. And he goes on and how he avenges his hero. That is the main part of this novel.
This Bihar, basically this Panindranath Ghosh, he belongs to Bihar, but it's basically from West Bengal. West Bengal that in that time was part of Bihar. Am I right?
Yes. So
And
partition of Bengal happened in
Baikunt
1905.
Sukul, who is the Bihar teacher, is basically from the present day Bihar. And
Yes.
Ghosh was basically from the present day West Bengal. Just for the
No,
viewers.
no, 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 no.
Oh
No.
yeah,
So
please correct me on this.
in those time, in the time of Curzon in 1905, the Bengal was partitioned. Okay, before 1905, the present day Bihar, Orissa, Bengal, and also the Bangladesh was part of Bengal. Okay, the Greater Bangla. Now, after 1905, there were many pieces, administrative pieces of Bengal. Now, this person, Fanindranath Ghosh, was from Betia, which is in today's Bihar, and Vaikunth Shukla was from Muzaffarpur, which today is known as Vaishali district, which is also from Bihar. So both were basically from Bihar. But however, the Fanindranath Ghosh belonged to the Bengali ethnicity, Bengali community. Even if today, if you go to Bihar and Orissa and in all those regions, all the elite people, all the zamindars belong to Bengali community. So like that, his generations were settled in Bihar only, in today's Bihar only.
Mr. Bhalerao, let me digress a bit from your book.
Hmm.
Somewhere on the internet, I was reading about one of your interviews, and in that interview, you have said that you are interested in revolutionaries of India. Why is it so? Why are you interested in revolutionaries?
See, we have been talking about the contribution of Congress and Mahatma Gandhi and that faction of independence movement for the last 75 years. I personally feel that there were parallel movement along with the INC, along with the Congress, that this revolutionary movement who were as hardworking, as dedicated, and their sacrifice is no less than anybody in the world for this independence movement. So, and for multiple reasons, they were ignored by our historians, people, and the country as a whole. So, I think it is time now that we should revive, we should read, and we should celebrate our heroes. Also, it's a part of subaltern history that not the leaders, but the common people like you and me, the people like Vaikun Shukla, the people like the followers of the members of Hindustan Socialist Republican Association that have made uh, I say much contribution to this country's independence, and we ought to know about them. Also, I also belong to a revolutionary family. My great grandfather was had participated in the Hyderabad Mukti Sangram, and he was armed revolutionary. There was prize on his head, and he was very successful in thwarting the Hyderabad Nizams in his times. So that also comes into the picture when studying about revolution.
Absolutely, I get your point, Mr. Bhalerao. Coming back to your book, let's talk a bit about this Bhaikut Sukul. Who was he? What was his background, apart from being a school teacher and apart from being associated and influenced by Bhagat Singh? What were his roots, basically?
Basically, he was born in Lalganj, and he was educated till SSC. After that, he got his job as a pre-primary teacher in a nearby village called Mathurapur. But there is an interesting fact about him. In those times, when he got inducted as a teacher, Bhagat Singh had ran away from Lahore and he was living in Kanpur under the tutelage of Ganesh Shankar Vidyarthi. And he was writing in newspaper articles in newspaper called as Pratap and Arjun, and there were many newspaper in those times, edited by Ganesh Shankar Vidyarthi himself. And under pseudonym, Bhagat Singh used to write about short biographies about the revolutionaries, and this had influenced Baikun School so much that he wished that he could be part of this whole revolutionary diaspora. Somehow he was not connected, or there was no scope in around his region to get connected to the revolutionaries, because most of the revolutionaries were working from either Punjab or United Province. As of nowadays, we call as Uttar Pradesh and Bengal.
So basically, school got influenced by Bhagat Singh's writings. Am I correct?
Yes. That was a huge part. Also, there was another influence on him.
But
His name was
but
Yogendra Sukul.
Mr. Balerao, just for my information and kindly lecture me if I am wrong. When Bhagat Singh was hanged, I guess he was only 23. Am I right?
Yes. 23 years old.
23 years old. But how, at such a young age, he was able to influence and have an impact on people like Sukul? So it's for the
So,
viewers. So, Mr. Balerao, for
yes.
the viewers, if you can also parallelly talk about the life of Bhagat Singh, where was he born, when was he born, what were his childhood activities, it would give a broader perspective to the viewers.
Yeah, so Bhagat Singh was born in 1907. In the same year, Vaikund Sukul was also born. So it's like a good coincidence. And Bhagat Singh was born in Punjab. He was born into an Arya Samaji family. Although they were Sikh, they were believers in Arya Samaj. And his
Punjab in
family
which
was
area?
very patriotic. I guess the name of the area is Khatkar Kalan. The name of village is Khatkar Kalan, if I'm not forgetting. And now it's in India. In those times, it was in undivided India. Okay. So his family was very patriotic. His grandfather was very patriotic. His father, Sardar Kishan Singh, was very patriotic, a member of Indian National Congress. His uncle, Sardar Ajit Singh, uh, had ran a very famous agriculture movement, which was named as Pagdi Sambhal Jatta, which also became a song in the Legend of Bhagat Singh, which was also written by Sardar Ajit Singh himself, his uncle. He was extradited by British government when he was very young, Sardar Ajit Singh, And Bhagat Singh, since he was born, he saw all these patriotic activities around him from his grandfather, father, uncles, and all around him. Even when he was born, his grandfather had said that I am dedicating this boy to the nation. So when he was going to be hanged and his father was crying, his grandmother was crying, Bhagat Singh reminded his family that why are you forgetting my grandfather had said that I am dedicating this boy to family, to the country. And so he had named his Bhagowala. Bhagowala means the one with fortune. And the main part which we are talking about, the influencing people. See, we are talking now in 2024 about Bhagat Singh and Vaikunth Shukul, and he is still influencing us. Still, his ideas, his writings are still relevant. So that is only because that man used to think ahead of his time. See, Bhagat Singh, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, Mahatma Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, these people were born in such a distressful times, and they were no doubt the period of their product. I believe such extraordinary people are only bred in such distressful times. They were product of their times, and there was need in India for people like Bhagat Singh, for people like Subhash Chandra Bose, for people like Mahatma Gandhi. And the first-hand experience of slavery, the realization of slavery. See, if you must know about this, but I'm telling it from viewers. When Jallianwala Bagh happened in 1919 April, around 15 days after the Jallianwala Bagh, young Bhagat Singh, only 12 years of his age, he reached Amritsar and he went on the Jallianwala Bagh and he collected the sand, the blood-soaked sand, into a glass jar, and he used to worship that jar until his death. He also used to keep the photo of Kartar Singh Saraba, his idol, who
Wasn't
was
Bhagat
hanged
an
in.
atheist? Why did he worship that soil?
No, worshipping in not sense of deity. It was meant as a respect for the martyrs.
Okay.
Worshipping is, yeah, he was celebrated atheist. No issue about that. Very blunt. Although in social media there are many raging controversies in nowadays questioning his atheism, overshadowing his sacrifice for the country. But he was a celebrated atheist, and he did not believe in anything in the concept of God or in the concept of afterlife. But still, he had a huge respect for the people who had died for this country. So in that sense, reverence we can say, not worship. Worshipping would be a wrong word. So he had a good reverence for this kind of thing. So this growing up and this philosophical system made him an influencer for the people like Vaikunth.
So explain it for the viewers. After the bombing takes place on the Delhi assembly, why did Bhagat surrender? There was absolutely no reason for him to surrender. Why did Bhagat Singh surrender?
Yeah, that's a very good question, Danish. See, Bhagat Singh had shot Saunders just in 1928, November, December. After executing Saunders, Bhagat Singh expected a huge mass support in favor of revolutionaries. But somehow, even after this daring act, the mass support from people was very negligible. So this shocked him to the core. And after the murder of Saunders, most faction of congressmen and major politicians used to call these young revolutionaries as terrorists. And this act of violence, Bhagat Singh felt that this act of violence didn't uh, received as much reciprocation from public as he had expected. So he comes out with this very innovative plan. He says that I am going to get arrested after throwing a harmless bomb in the assembly to show my protest, and from behind the bars I will carry
Importantly,
on.
Mr. Bhalerao, sorry to intervene.
Hmm,
Importantly, this
hmm.
bomb did not kill anyone inside the assembly.
Yeah, it was designed specially so that it would not harm a single person.
Not even
By the
injuries to
time,
anyone.
no, not even a scratch.
It was
Only one or two
only
persons were
thrown to
injured.
send a strong message across to the government.
Yes, to make the deaf hear, it needs a loud explosion. So that was the tagline on the banner also, and the bomb was specifically designed for only and only that purpose. They were not going to harm anyone, and no one was harmed as such. So they threw the bomb, and Bhagat Singh went behind the prison, even knowing that he was not going to come out. He absolutely and all of his comrades knew that Bhagat Singh was not going to come out alive. Still, he took that decision only to let the people of this country know the basic ideology of revolutionary, what revolutionaries stand for, and how the revolutionary movement could only succeed if it is supported by the masses. And in that plan, Bhagat Singh succeeded. His success was phenomenal, but he had to give his life, sacrifice his life.
So he was knowing that there is no coming back. He was knowing no one is backing him. Still, he went with this step and surrendered himself. Am I right?
Yes, yes. Also, there is one point to note here. In his last days, he agrees that the individual act of violence, like the killing of Saunders, could not bring any much contribution to the fight for independence. He had come to this conclusion. But somehow, but for the time being, when Lala Lajpat Rai had died, this was necessary to execute Saunders because that is part of some other story. But still, uh, during his times, in his end, he believed in mass movement only.
This Saunders, who was he? Why did Bhagat Singh kill him?
So basically, when the Simon Commission came in India, the Simon Commission was commissioned by British government to suggest some reforms in our constitution, to giving some independency to our people. But there was no Indian in Simon Commission. So we as Indians were opposing the Simon Commission throughout the country. When the Simon Commission reached Lahore, the procession against the commission was led by Lala Lajpat Rai, who was the senior most leader in those times, and the superintendent of Lahore Police, Scott JP Scott, uh, decided to target Lala Lajpat Rai and beat him mercilessly. So while Bhagat Singh and his comrade made a circle around Lala Lajpat Rai, made their best to protect him, but Lala Lajpat Rai was beaten mercilessly, and the head was this Saunders guy who was deputy superintendent, John Saunders. But after the this incident, Lala Lajpat Rai died around 17 or 18 days later, succumbing to those injuries and insult. Interestingly, many people didn't know this. The wife of Deshbandhu Chittaranjan Das wrote an article after the death of Lala Lajpat Rai, saying that the masculinity, the purusharth of this country has dead because how can a lowly official like Saunders or constable can go ahead and hit such a revered leader of our nation? And this article specifically, and also the act of mercilessly beating our supreme leader, hurt Bhagat Singh and his friends so much that they decided to murder Scott, and they gave the responsibility of identifying Scott to Jay Gopal. But in the heat of movement, or I don't know what happened, it was Jay Gopal's mistake that he identified Saunders as Scott, while Scott was not in Lahore on that day. So by the time he gave signal, Rajguru shot Saunders while he was coming on bike from his police station. And after that, Bhagat Singh, although identified that he was not Scott, but there was no option left because Rajguru's bullet had ripped his heart already. So Bhagat Singh made sure and put two, three bullets more in his chest, and they ran away from that place. So this was
So,
Saunders had killed.
so when did this bomb blast at Delhi Assembly takes place? This is 27, 1927,
No, April 29, I guess.
April 29, and soon thereafter,
Yes,
Bhagat Singh surrenders. Did he surrender inside the
yes.
assembly or outside the assembly?
No, inside the assembly. After throwing the bomb, there was
That
a
very
sergeant.
moment he surrenders.
Yes, yes, he went for surrender. Actually, there was different plan. Pandit Chandrasekhar Azad suggested that he would rescue them after throwing the bomb, as he did rescue them after killing Saunders because he was such an expert in all these operations. But Bhagat Singh refused. He said there is no option of running away because we did that last time and it did not work. Our goal is not to create such incidences. Our goal is to aware our make awaken our people. So he surrendered. In the assembly himself, there was a sergeant named Terry. He surrendered to himself.
So he surrendered in April 1929.
Yes.
When was he hanged? March
In
1930?
31, March 1931,
March
23rd March 1931.
1931. Almost 2 years
Yes.
inside the jail.
Yes, yes.
Please talk about these 2 years.
So there are two things in this. While he was in the jail, around 2.5 years, he was in Lahore prison. There are two things. One thing
He
is
was
his
in
own
which prison?
individual fight.
Rawalpindi prison, did you say?
No, no, Lahore Miawali jail. He was
Okay,
shifted to many prisons. First, he
okay.
was kept in Delhi jail. Okay, the civil lines prison when he had thrown bomb in Delhi Assembly. So the case of assembly bombing case ran in Delhi court. After that, he was transferred to Lahore Miawali jail. Then he was kept in Lahore Central jail. Then he was shifted to Bostal jail. Then he was hanged in Miawali jail. Okay, so in those days, Lahore was like a maze of prisons, multiple prisons. So he was shifted around many prisons in those days. But there were two main important things happening while he was in prison. One thing was his own individual fight against the Raj. So this young boy, around he must have been 20 years when he was arrested after throwing the assembly. He started studying multiple books on the law, on history, philosophy, religion, and whatnot. And started maintaining his jail notebook. Okay, which was coincidentally my first book. I had translated and researched on that one first. So he
How
was
many
writing on
total
all those
books
things.
did he write in these 2.5 years?
He wrote almost four books in the prison. One was very interesting, the history of Indian Revolution. He also wrote on socialism and also two more books. I'm not getting their names now. Somehow we all lost those books. It's another story how
And
we
we are
lost them,
unable
but
to
they are.
save those books?
Yes, yes, yes. Only his jail notebook is with us from his jail writing and the article Why I'm an Atheist and few letters. Except that there is nothing of his literature left.
It was a
Sadly,
deliberate attempt by the British Raj to destroy these documents.
I guess so, but there are many theories on it, so I cannot talk about it conclusively. But the factual part is we don't have them. So this is one thing. He was educating himself, even though he was going to die, and he was determinedly carrying out his fight against the Raj in the court. He was arguing himself vehemently. Second thing, he started a
He was
legendary
himself,
hunger
he
strike.
was himself a lawyer for himself.
No, no, he had a lawyer, but
Okay.
although he had a lawyer, he used to argue himself in some major events, and that showed his legal acumen. Okay. Uh, Along with fighting the legal battle, he started his legendary hunger strike for getting the rights of political prisoners. So there is a very interesting fact. In popular culture, we know that Bhagat Singh started his legendary hunger strike after reaching the Lahore prison, seeing the condition of terrible condition of food that is served to revolutionary and all that. However, uh, the fact is he had written a letter to the Inspector General of Police before reaching the Lahore prison, and he had started his hunger strike. He had planned his hunger strike to show that his community of revolutionaries was mistreated for the last 50 years, and they were treated as a common criminal, and he wanted them to be treated as a proper political criminals because they were fight against the India's independence. So he started his hunger strike. This thing was going on. The hunger strike ran for 116 days. In those time, during those Jatin Das died, and many of them were almost going to die during the hunger strike, terrible hunger strike.
And
While on outside,
116 days, he did not eat anything.
no, he did not eat anything, but the Britishers used to force feed him. So that is another story. They used to bring in 8 to 10 strong, 6.5 foot long Pathan constables. They used to restrain the revolutionaries, Bhagat Singh and all of them, and then a rubber pipe was inserted through their nose or their mouth, through their mouth, and milk was put into them. And every day they used to resist this force feeding as much as power was left in them. And in this force feeding, an accident happened, and Jatin Das died on 63rd day of his hunger strike. So this was a very terrible period for him. And even though during this time he was reading the books and studying the literature and preparing his legal fight, while on the outside Chandrasekhar Azad was trying to rescue Bhagat Singh and his comrade from the Lahore prison, and Azad was also trying to keep on the movement of HSRA while many revolutionary activities. So these two parallel things were happening, which are more or less ignored by people. People only know that he got arrested, then he got hanged. But in those 2 years, many things happened, which are more focused in my book.
So how did they hang him? Because hanging is an important part of his life and part of his struggle. How did they hang him, and
So
who else was with him, the other two persons who were hanged along with Bhagat Singh, I guess in March 1931?
31. So the thing is, in October 1930, the judgment of hanging came. Okay. So before the judgment, these three were the like bestest friends in Indian history: Bhagat Singh, Rajguru, and Sukhdev. So between Bhagat Singh and Rajguru, there was some sort of tussle, a bet that who is going to die first for the country. And it was 100% sure that Bhagat Singh and Rajguru would get death punishment because they had actively participated in Saunders' murder. While Sukhdev, who was not physically present, had planned the whole act because he was basically the planner and mastermind behind all the revolutionary activities. So there is a letter written by Sukhdev to Bhagat Singh saying that in if in judgment they decided to hang you both and give life imprisonment to me, I will commit suicide because this is injustice to me. And in return, Bhagat Singh writes to Sukhdev, there is a great philosophical discourse between two people that dying for the country is not a singular thing. Living for it, taking life imprisonment is also a greater act. You can keep on the fight which we had started, and that is another thing. But on 7th October, these three people were sentenced to death sentence to be hanged until death,
So,
but somehow the sentence.
uh, basically, the death sentence was for the killing of Sanders, not for the Delhi
No, no, no.
bombings.
For the, no. Delhi bombings were not. Delhi bombings, only Bhagat Singh and Batukeshwar Dutt had participated. Okay. So after Delhi bombing
So,
happened,
so
within I guess
these three revolutionaries were hanged for the murder of Sanders, for the killing of Sanders, rather.
no, they were hanged for two reasons. One
Yes.
is for active participation in murder of Saunders, and
Okay.
second is to conspire against the king to overthrow the British Empire, which was the main,
So basically,
I
these were
guess,
the two main charges against the three person.
yes,
Absolutely.
conspire against the king. Huh.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
So then, on October 7th,
Then
1930, they have pronounced the death sentence. Take the story forward.
yeah, and the somehow the death sentence got delayed through petitions and all that. So on 20, finally the date was decided 24th March 1931. But there was throughout India there were huge protests for stopping the Bhagat Singh's death sentence and commuting it to life imprisonment for all three of these people. But there was also a side of administration, specifically the police officials of Punjab. There is a reference which says all the police officials had threatened the viceroy if the punishment of Bhagat Singh, Rajguru, and Sukhdev was commuted, they were going to mass resign because they hated the revolutionaries so much. And one of them was killed by Bhagat Singh. That was the main reason. So, for the fear of public protest and all, the government decided to hang three of them one day before. So, while the hanging was decided on 24th March, they decided to hang them on the
On
evening of
23rd March.
23rd March 1930. Yes, 23rd March, which was not decided. But when the shoutings and slogans inside the prison started, the people outside somehow knew that something sinister was going to happen. But it's not just the hanging. The way their corpses were treated after the hanging is also very important. When they were dead after hanging together, the police brought them the corpses down. They cut the corpses into pieces. They filled the corpses into the lorry of a truck, and they had to break a wall of the prison. From there, they took out the corpses, and around some 10 or 20 kilometers away, on the banks of Ravi, they tried to burn the corpses by themselves. Somehow, a village nearby saw the light. The people rushed at the spot. The police ran away. The people of that village somehow gathered the remains, brought it to Lahore, and Bhagat Singh's father identified the body of his son. And aftermath, the people of Lahore ceremonially cremated all three friends. So this is
So
how
all
they
the
died.
three friends have been cremated in Lahore.
Yes, yes.
Mr. Bhalerao, intriguing story. Before we end up this interesting discussion, my last question to you: was
Yes.
Mahatma Gandhi complicit in hanging of Bhagat Singh and his two partners after he signed an pact in 1931 with Lord Irwin?
No, in one word, to give this answer, in yes or no, Bhagat Singh, Mahatma Gandhi was not responsible. Whether he could have stopped or got this sentence computed, maybe, but that was not aligning to those times, to the ideology of these two people. There is a very famous letter written by Sukhdev to Mahatma Gandhi, and it is already in the public domain. And also the response of Mahatma Gandhi, which sadly came after the death of these three people. See, these two people, let's take Bhagat Singh and Mahatma Gandhi. These two people were trying for the same goal, to the country's independence. But at the same time, they were bound to their respective ideologies. Bhagat Singh was bound to the revolutionary ideology, and Gandhi was bound to his own, the non-violent Satyagraha ideology. During the time when Bhagat Singh was alive, so see this plan of Bhagat Singh, he had gone to prison for dying only. There was no escape. Bhagat Singh had written himself that I couldn't be more famous or more big than I am now. Before he was ready for sacrifice. He says, if I die like this, all the mothers of this country will say, let my son become Bhagat Singh. So that was his thing. And Gandhiji was ready to offer his legal help and stand on their side. But at the same time, these people had committed a murder of Saunders, which was Gandhiji against principally. Although he knew that it was part of national movement and all that, he agreed. But still, Gandhiji could not change his philosophical stand. Neither did Bhagat Singh, Rajguru, and Sukhdev. So Gandhiji appealed to British without asking Bhagat Singh, Rajguru, and Sukhdev. Gandhiji said that commute the sentences of this boy, while I promise they will not participate in any revolutionary activities. Okay, this was his words, Gandhiji's words. While Sukhdev retributed to Gandhiji, saying that who gave you authority to speak on our behalf? While you should speak about the Gadar revolutionaries who are in prisons for more than 15 years, and why are you speaking that we will abandon revolutionary activities just on your saying? We are here and we take full responsibility for what we have committed, and we are ready to face whatever actions or whatever outcome comes from our actions. So this was basically the thing.
So MK Gandhi was not responsible directly for their hanging.
Not at all, not directly, not indirectly.
Mr. Balerao, pleasure talking to me, and thank you very much. Let me hold your
Thank
book
you,
once again for the audience so that I hope that it reaches
thank
to
you.
maximum people and maximum people read this book. Thank you very much, Mr. Balerao.
Yes, thank you, Danish. It was nice talking to
Pleasure,
you.
pleasure,
Thank you.
sir,
Bye.
pleasure.
Please subscribe to our channel Reportage and press the bell icon to remain updated.